Good afternoon, YouTubers. My name is Andre Beasley, aka Brother Beasley. There's a lot of people know me. I'm gonna start off by saying His glory is my story. And I'm gonna tell you about the ups and downs as an aircraft mechanic. So we're gonna start back in 2018. That's when I first started. I started at PSA in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, so PSA, Dayton, Ohio. Started my career in aviation as a mechanic. Went out there, no place to stay. Didn't know nothing about crash pads. Didn't know nobody. I was there by myself. So when I first took the job, they promised all type of sign-on bonuses and relocation assistance and all that. But, they don't tell you that it'll be after 6 months. You got to be there 6 months first. Me being new to it, I didn't know nothing about it. And where I'm from, you really couldn't ask nobody about it because they didn't know nothing about it, So started out, I think I slept in my car a couple times. When I get off work, I go, try to look for close apartments that wasn't too high. I was still staying back at home with my folks in Memphis. So I'm flying back and forth. Thankfully, I flew for free. That was one of the benefits of PSA. It's actually a sister branch to the mother branch. The mother branch is American Airlines. So, let's see. Started June 25th, 2018. Yeah. Family still in Memphis. I'm out in Dayton, Ohio by myself. So for the first week or two, they have you on day shift. And on day shift, you're going through training, doing this and that, and learning what you're going to be doing. And mind you, I'm fresh out of school. Never touched the airplane before, but I had mechanical background where, my neighbor, I used to ask him to fix this on my car, fix this, and he never would. How much you gonna charge me to fix this? And he was like, nope, I'm gonna show you how to do it that way you know how to do it. So I appreciate that because that helped me learn about tooling and how to wrench, So let's see, fast forward. All right, so now I got some type of mechanical background because, I learned about tools early. All right. Yeah, just so got off work, I looked for apartments nearby because I want to move my family up, my wife, my kids. But first, I got to start making some money, of course. But let's see, started out, I think I was making like $18 an hour because that was entry level. Entry level meaning fresh out of school, no experience, never worked anywhere. Entry level, $18 an hour, which was okay, pretty good. But let's see, I still needed tools. I had some tools, but not a lot. Thankfully, the Snap-on man used to come up there like on Mondays and Fridays. Friday, which is payday, because it was every 2 weeks, and then Mondays to clean up whatever somebody didn't get Friday. Pretty smart strategy, but hey. So I'm getting tools. I'm starting my career. Time going on. Learning about the planes. Finally start working on the planes and getting pretty good at it, or mediocre, so to speak. And then I think after about 6 months, I was finally able to bring my family up. So moved the family up, found an apartment. I think I was paying like $857 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Dayton, Ohio. Well, actually, the airport is in Vandalia, Ohio, and I was staying in Trotwood, which is the hood. And let's see, but Dayton is the most known area in that area. So a lot of people wouldn't know Vandalia if I showed it to them. But so started at PSA, working there. Finally brought the family up 6 months later. After working at PSA, it taught me a lot about integrity, because you're supposed to do the right thing even when no one's looking, and it showed me what to do and what not to do, and don't be scared to make mistakes, because mistakes happen, and when you make mistakes, you learn from it and you move on. You don't linger on it, and you don't just dwell on the mistake, because they gonna happen. And one thing they don't tell you in school is about sky draw. So sky draw, it's not if you get it on you, it's when you get it on you, because you gonna get it on you. But what nobody told me, when you get it on you, don't go home and take no hot shower or warm shower, because it's gonna feel like glass is coming out of the shower head. And man, it feel like, I'm talking about, the first time I got it on me, I got it on my stomach and my thighs, and I jumped in this hot shower, and man, it felt like glass was pouring out of the shower head, just cutting into me. So when you get sky draw on you, make sure you take a cool shower, almost cold if you can, because it's sky draw. It's almost like fiberglass when you in the shower. If you ever had to deal with fiberglass before. But worked at PSA, and it taught me a lot. A lot of ups and a lot of downs. I might come in one day, do anything from a tire change, and tomorrow I might come in and do an engine change. My very first job was an APU change. They throw you out there to see where you at. But thankfully for me, I'm a fast learner, and I know how to communicate. I'm not scared to open my mouth and speak. I'm not scared to, when I don't know something, to ask. People don't mind helping you, but if you're not trying to help yourself, then it's gonna be a problem. So the best thing you can do is read your paper, read your information, do what you can. Try to, what's the word I'm looking for? You try to break it down and sift through it the best way you can. You try to get the most knowledge from reading it as you can, and see if you can figure it out on your own. But if you can't, you can ask for help. And people can tell if you done read through it, because you'll know what you're talking about when you ask for help, versus someone who just jump out there or going to ask a bunch of questions. Man, how do I do that? How do I do it? Don't nobody want to help nobody who ain't trying to help themselves. So if you ain't trying to help yourself, ain't nobody gonna want to help you. But when they see that you done read over it and you got some sense of knowledge about what you asking, they don't mind helping you at all. So me being the person I am, thankfully I know how to analyze stuff, and I know how to look at certain stuff and tell how it go, or how it don't go, or how it needs to go, or if this need to be moved, or if that need to be moved. Excuse me, sorry, but never done this before. A little parched. Excuse me. But yeah. So just let's see where I'm at. Finally brought the family up. Everything going good. Got the kids enrolled in school. Wife found her a job. Working. Constantly being asked to be a lead. I'm like, no, thank you. For one, I didn't want to be a lead because I feel like I didn't know enough. And people like, hey, nah, man, you good? No, I don't know enough. I want to be able to help. If I'm a lead, I need to be actually able to lead. I'm not finna be out here trying to lead somebody and I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. So I never took the lead position. And so kept working, mechanic, and I had good times where I would go in, I would knock something out, boom, I'm done. I go to another plane to help somebody else out, because that's how we worked. It was a regional, small planes, CRJs, 200, 700, 900. The 200 hold like 50, the 700 hold like 76 or something like that, and the 900s hold about think it was like 80, 85, somewhere, but I might be wrong, but it's been a while. This was 2018. This December 31st, 2024 right now as I sit here and talk to you. So 6 years ago, roughly. But let's see, what else? It was just, it was cool because some days I would go in there and knock things out with no problem, but some days I'd be struggling, like bad, Like I remember one time I ended up cutting a wire that I didn't need to cut. Thankfully, I was able to splice that wire and I fixed that problem and I learned from it not to cut it again. And I was able to move forward, like that's probably one of the ups and downs, but you're gonna have ups and downs. And I've been in this field for 6 years now, and PSA was just a starting point, and I'm forever grateful for them because, like I said, I might come in one day, do a tire change, next day, I might do an engine change. So it was never the same thing every day, and you learn something different every day. And my daddy taught me a long time ago, you're supposed to learn something new every day, because if you don't, that's a day of your life you wasted. So go in and just did my best, put my best foot forward, come in every day with a positive attitude, and just kept trying and, never gave up and just continue to push forward. And regardless of what they say, because, people gonna talk about you regardless, whether you good, whether you bad, whether you both, So thankfully I was good at being bad, but, I managed to turn that around and just learn how to be real good at trying my best to do better, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what it's all about, just trying to do better. Like, if you stay in the same place, then you wasting your own time, you know what I'm saying? Because tomorrow ain't promised, the next few seconds ain't promised to anybody. So you gotta try to do the best you can with whatever you can. And I was able to make it through probation, which took about 6 months. That's one of the reasons I took that long to bring the family up there, because I didn't want to bring them up there, then I don't make probation, and then we somewhere, stranded or far away from home with no way to get home, because they didn't help me get there. I had to get there on my own, and I had to, fend for myself until I was able to provide better, So I think after my first year, I got a little raise, maybe went up to like, whatever went up to, I think it was 21 after I made my first year probation. Well, no, after I made probation, I got a 50-cent raise, and then after a year, I went up to 21. And then after that, that's when I began to venture off into more stuff. I tried to get more experience. I learned to taxi airplanes, I was already figuring out how to work on them, so I learned to taxi them, which is driving them around. Let's see, field trips. Field trips are very lucrative. They're pretty nice if you're with the right company. I mean, I know how it was when I was with PSA, and let's see, I'm field tripping, taxiing, working holidays, picking up shift, working off days, still spending time with the fam, because my shift was beautiful when I first started. We were working 313s, and I was working, everywhere is not like this, but my first 6 months was beautiful because I was working 313s. I was working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 3:30 in the evening to 5:40 in the morning. So when I used to get off, I catch that first flight out from Ohio to Philly, and Philly to Memphis. I'd be in Memphis back before 10:30 in the morning. So that means I got all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I don't have to be back at work until Monday evening, 3:30. So that's when I'm flying back, commuting back and forth. So let's see. By this time, probably that 6 months had went by, and then they cut out the 313s, and I ended up going to was it 410s? Was it 410s or 5.8s? I think it was 410s. Yeah, 14s. I ended up going to 14s. And the 14s I was working was oh, what 14s I was working? I can't remember the exact hours, but the 14s was pretty nice too because I still had 3 days off. Whatever day. It's really like 2.5 days because that first day you probably sleeping or whatever, trying to catch up on some sleep or something like that. But it still was nice though for the 14s. So worked there, and family liking it, wife liking it. But by this time, I'm coming up on like a year and a half, and I think I was at like I had got because you got what is it, 50 cent bump for taxiing, and then I think you got like a quarter for each different plane you can taxi. So I'm taxiing CRJs 270 and 900. So I ended up at like 25. Yeah, like 25 and some change. 25, 65, something like that. So, just staying the course, keeping my head down, trying to help, trying to learn as much as I can, trying to do as much as I can, trying to be as much of an asset as I can, so to speak. Because that's one of the things. If you're not an asset, if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem. You know what I mean? Like, so if you ain't trying to help, then you in the way. You know what I mean? Like, or if you slacking and somebody having to pick up the slack for you, or somebody having to fill in because you not trying your best to do your best, then you holding down the whole team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing it teaches you. It's about working as a team. Because I know they say teamwork make the dream work. Everybody said, I know you get tired of hearing it all the time. I get tired of hearing it, but it's true. You know what I mean? And with the right team, no job is too hard, period. Like, I don't care how hard you think it is, but if you got the right team, ain't no job too hard, trust me. Because I done been on both ends where I done been probably the best person on the team, and I'd have been the worst person on the team. And by the worst person on the team, that don't mean that I wasn't helpful. That just means I wasn't as knowledgeable as the other person was. But best believe I jumped in there and I was able to hold my own, and I was able to help out, and I was able to, do my part. It's just some jobs is harder, some jobs are sometimes smoother or easier, so to speak. But a lot of the times you following paperwork. You know what I'm saying? You read and understand and break down what they want you to do. You just take your time and you can get through it. You know what I mean? So let's see. I'm coming up on about a year and a half. By this time, that's when I first learned you can trust but verify. Like I got burnt one time because I don't mean burnt as in hot, burn myself or nothing like that. I mean burnt by a lead asked me to do something, and because I didn't verify the part that he asked me to put in, that I ended up putting in a bad part. And we end up having to take that part out, try to find a new one that actually was effective for that plane or that part, because I put in the wrong effectivity for a different plane. So, of course, I got wrote up or talking to or whatever because I didn't verify. So that's my fault. So that's why, they got the saying is always, you can trust what they saying, but still verify for yourself so you know what's going on. So, trust but verify. That was after about a year and a half. That's when I finally got burnt for the first time. You know what I mean? And I said, okay, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I didn't get fooled no more. So ever since then, I always trust whatever they telling me or trust whatever they saying, but I verify for myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's always good to do. So, after about a year and a half I've been there, things was going okay, bills getting paid, and I think this was right around this time COVID is approaching. It's almost the end of 2019. So I will stop right there, and I'll pick back up with more ups and downs of aviation mechanic tomorrow. Check y'all later. Fly high.